Many thanks to Sarah Parkinson for joining us today to discuss her Christmas activity book and why she chose NAPE's Christopher Jarman Dotty font, which is freely available for educational purposes. We know that you will be charmed by the various activities Sarah has designed for young children, 5 to 7 years and beyond. All these activities are based on a Christmas theme. The Christopher Jarman font is featured in a number of YouTube videos watched by thousands and is linked to NAPE's handwriting scheme.
Welcome to the NAPE YouTube site this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And you're going to tell us all about your Christmas quiz book today, which is obviously a very seasonal topic. But I'm also very excited that you're using a Christopher Jarman font called the Dotty font. So that is terrific. So why and how did you become a writer?
I became a writer because I've always enjoyed stories and reading, and it's always been something that I've enjoyed, even when before I started kind of doing it as a job. But yeah, writer. I've always written in journals. The writing has always been a massive part of my life, and it was only when I had my little girl that I had the time to actually kind of dedicate more to story writing and bringing my talents from being able to draw and paint into storytelling as well. So yeah, all comes together nicely.
Quite a journey you've described there. And you're a bit of an artist, aren't you? Looking at the courses you've taken, you're really into creativity and artistry, which is quite evident in your book,
Yeah.
which is up on my right side as you look at the screen. So tell me, was it because you're an artist that you chose to? You said that writing was natural to you anyway. So the art side obviously comes into it as well. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, the artist. It's another way to get a story across, isn't it? So whilst it can be a children's book, that might lead me down the path of being a children's writer, of being able to show through pictures and with writing as well. And it's another brilliant tool just to be able to get your story across, and not just in the ways of writing and describing what it is. To be able to actually put images to it as well just enriches the experience, doesn't it? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do for children.
In fact, I think I'm right in saying the pictures almost weave between the words sometimes, don't they?
Definitely, yeah. Especially when you've got rhyming books as well, and it all just kind of comes together as a nice
Yes,
flow.
there's some rhyming in it. I noticed, as well as some blank pages within the book, which I assume is for where the children can express themselves and draw, as well as all the drawing activities which are inherent within this book.
Yes.
Was that was that a specific design you went for?
Yes, definitely. So I always encourage child's creativity with. So I do art classes. I go into schools. I do a lot of work with children, creatively. I did them over. I did art classes over lockdown as well, and a massive part of it for me is that children don't have to draw exactly the way that I draw. I very much encourage creativity and having their own style in with it all. So that's why there would be so I have a few not like, they're not all massively blank. There's like one blank one at the back, but like otherwise it's just with big spaces where it's like you fill in the rest of the picture here. What would you like to see here? What? And yes, it always, so that's an example of one. And being able to show the reindeer and being able to fill in the rest of the picture as well. So it's also that particular one is a colour by numbers, but
yes, I could see that. And he seems to be holding a mug as well.
Yes, It's this gingerbread tea.
So I've never heard of before. I've heard of ginger tea.
Oh, you need to. Oh, you need to get on board with gingerbread tea. Definitely, yes. There's some. We're big tea enthusiasts in this house, so definitely go down there, have a look at some gingerbread tea for Christmas.
Now you have written some other books, and I'll put the covers on the screen as well. Could you sort of give me a brief outline, because I think there's a thread between them all. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're all in the same universe. It's the Tales of Willow Park. Yeah. So we have the shoe foxes. The shoe foxes is all about about foxes that come across some shoes in a shop window that are beautiful, beautiful, glittery, sparkling shoes. And they are finding out how it is that they actually get to have them for themselves. And that one's a nice, lovely message on how we get money, basically, which is, it's more for the young ones. That's the one that I would do for the nursery and reception kind of age children. And where does money come from? You know, there's not many books that kind of actually properly kind of address that, really. So that was what I wanted to come across in that book. But it's a lovely, lovely tale, that one. Dragonfly Pie is about some noisy dragonflies down at the lake that are keeping the geese awake, but the geese can never catch them, because dragonflies are incredibly good at evading capture. And so it's all this, but that book is all about conflict resolution and how you know, is violence the answer? Is trying to catch and kill the dragonflies the way to go? Or is it putting them into a dragonfly pie? Or is it to be able to talk about it, admitting mistakes, and coming to a compromise, which is what they managed to do? And it's a lovely tale, and it does, again, it brings together facts in nature. That's another thread that runs through my book. Is my books are facts in nature, and how it's another area that children absolutely love, is things that are true within the stories, and everything is, all of them have got some kind of,
yes, obviously within their world. Are these books, you said that there was one particular book, the first book you described, what was that?
The shoe foxes.
The shoe boxes. Is it the sort of book you said for younger children? Is it the sort of book an adult will share, or have a group of children around them and read through the book with them, take them on that journey of the book? Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's a brilliant one for sharing with a big group. Perfect. Yeah, and especially, you know, if it's a mixture of ages and things as well, that one's a lovely one. Yeah, and other ones, there was Noisy Nora, about a noisy mouse that was out of place within its little mouse community, and everyone was all, because obviously in the mouse world, being quiet is the status quo, isn't it? Whereas poor little Nora was standing out from the crowd and didn't mean to, but you know, no matter, you can't stop being yourself, no matter who you are, whatever voice you have, every voice has its home. So it's this mouse meets somebody new and the mouse can help, Noisy Nora can help somebody to give them a voice who can't speak for themselves. And then there's Monty McFlew, which is the mystery, on my mystery book for a sleuthing pheasant. And I've always liked the idea of a pheasant being able to be a bit kind of like, I always have the vision of like Pink Panther, and they're like because that's kind of how they walk, and that's kind of what sparked it for me. So Monty McFlew is solving the mystery of the missing partridge in the 12 Days of Christmas parade. So there's all of the references to the song that you might hope to see, and it's a lovely little tale as well, with a very happy ending.
Anyway, let's concentrate on the book in question, Monty McFlew and the Christmas Mystery.
Yes.
Now, This book I would describe as a big mixture of Christmas activities to do with a story, to do with quizzes, and there's even a crossword in there. There's drawing, there's writing, there's colouring. Um, is it this? You could actually describe it as an activity book. Is that
Yes,
right?
it's a trace and colour activity book. That's what I describe it as. So being able to bring together not just activities and in there as well, but being able to have the tracing element and have that within it, so that the kids are actually doing working on their fine motor skills without even realizing it. So it's all under the idea that they are going to help me bring the colour back to my book. So as you can see on the colour, it looks like on the cover, it looks like there's a bit that's been ripped up and the colour's been seeped out. So yes, it's all under the idea. I mean, I could read a bit of the front page to kind of set the scene for the book, really, if you like. So, help! It's a Christmas emergency. My story has lost its colour. Carefully trace the words that look like this, and that is using your beautiful Christopher Jarman Dotty font, which indicates all the areas where you can trace, so that we can read them, solve the puzzles along the way, and bring back the colour to the world inside this book. And that is the idea for just to bring them in and get them helping me to bring back the colour and bring back a bit of imagination within its pages as well.
That's lovely. Are there any other sort of fun activities within the book you'd like to highlight?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, from a kind of, obviously from NAPE's perspective and things that would actually kind of benefit the children and their fine motor skills.
Absolutely.
And I've got a few activities in here that will help with the fine motor skills. Like for instance, so again, it is a trace and colour activity book. The practicing drawing holly is a good one for for not only for tracing, but being able to kind of do their own mark making and everything as well.
Yes.
And as well as obviously the tracing of all the letters and using a beautiful Jarman font. There's also some design tasks that they can do. So they can do design poster. They can design a milkshake and do their own kind of and all these little things that can kind of inspire their imagination and get them thinking about different Christmassy milkshakes that they could do, which is again part of the story. The 8 Maids of Milking, are designing milkshakes.
Yes, yes, I see that.
You're like,
I mean, you'll be glad to hear that there still is a requirement from the old national curriculum for joined up handwriting.
Yeah.
The book is actually at a very reasonable price. I think it's something like $7.99 or
$7.49.
$7.49, even cheaper.
$7.49.
I mean, an entire book with all those activities. I mean, I'll put the link on Amazon on the screen. It seems very reasonable and would certainly occupy children, as far as I can work out, for quite a long time, as well as evoke discussion. Hopefully, there's an oral element to this book as well, which perhaps we need to mention. So thanks for highlighting quite a number of fun activities, and I will put on a few of the pages on the book with your kind permission. So that's all very well exciting, but we're coming into 2024. What have you got on the pipeline? What's coming up next?
Oh, it's all. I'll keep a few things under lock and key, but it's more. I've got more stories to tell, and more. I want to get out to more schools. So if there's any schools that are interested in having me for a visit, yeah, I think author visits are one of the most gratifying parts of my job, is getting out to be able to go and visit.
You've got a website, I think, haven't you, where you can book it?
Yeah, you can talk to me on there, or on SparkyAuthor.com. And yes, you can, and more school visits, more writing beautiful books, and doing more and just getting out and getting out more stories. That's always the plan, but I keep them under lock and key until it's the proper announcement time. So
I was going to say, and in terms of your announcements, where do the announcements appear? They obviously appear on your website.
Yes, but
mailing list.
Also on my social media handles, yes, as well. So Instagram, the Spark Author.
Yes.
So Sarah Parkinson Spark. That's where the spark comes from. So Spark Author or SparkyAuthor on Facebook.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So you've obviously used your previous existence, if you like, in experience in getting out to people
Yes.
through social media, which is marvelous. I'll put all those links down there and also in the description itself. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
The Christopher Jarman Dotty font is absolutely has been so instrumental in helping bring the story to an accessible, traceable, approved level, because that was the thing that I wanted, was to be able to have a font that teachers gave the tick on.
Which is good, and of course there is the ordinary Christopher Jarman font, which is also free. NAPE has also published a series of videos about how to use it at different age stages, from the very young to Key Stage 2. So we hope, NAPE certainly hopes, that you will have a look at that, as well, of course, as Sarah's wonderful Christmas book. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great fun, and we hope the viewers will enjoy looking at some of the pages we'll put on the screen, and even tempt them to dive into Amazon and order their own book before Christmas. Thank you very much indeed.